welcome to the video. If you are new here, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you are a returning viewer subscriber, good to see you again. This weekend is going to be a little bit different than some of my past content, as you probably gathered from the thumbnail or the description. This weekend is going to be all about recovery. I just finished my half marathon block yesterday, and I went through the lessons I learned, how I felt about that block in the last video if you want to check that out. I thought it'd be helpful to not only do a weekend video, but a week video, because they do differentiate. I have different obligations during the weekends, different time commitments, and during the week, sometimes recovery can actually be a little bit easier because it's more regimented, it's built in with work. You can schedule things out a little bit simpler. During the weekends, sometimes I'm traveling, sometimes I'm helping family, and sometimes I have a lot of downtime, and it's easy to just push things around and not really get to them, especially when it comes to recovery and things that are less exciting than running can be. I'll take you all with me this weekend and show you exactly what I'm doing in between my free time to kick off this week of recovery. Just made it up to Fort Collins, and we are stopping for food. A big part of any recovery week is going to be your eating. Now, obviously I'm not going to be able to eat a lot of meals at home when I'm traveling, but I can still get in the types of foods that I need. Now, I will eat a large amount of carbs kind of at the beginning of recovery to help my muscles restore, help get a little bit of glycogen in the muscles as I continue to do lighter workouts, just help me feel energized. But as the week continues, I'll probably taper carbs down a little bit and be a lot more fat and protein heavy. For me, it's more of a mental thing as well as an energy thing. I feel like when I am not outputting, when I'm not training hard and I'm just eating a lot of extra carbs, it makes me kind of groggy and tired. Mentally gives me a little bit of that fog. So for me, I still focus on getting a lot of proteins in because I am still lifting, doing different types of workout, but I just don't need that excess energy that I would get from the carbs that I would typically take in. We are about to go into one of our favorite restaurants in Fort Collins, do a little date day and eat at Oregano's. So this will be a carb heavy meal, but from here on out, I'll probably start tapering down those carbs a little bit.
Gotta film himself eating pizza.
Told the people I was gonna be eating. Gotta let them know.
Pizza looks good.
Just pulled up to the gym, and today we are going to be doing a upper body circuit. I am not running this weekend, and I'm not running this week. This week is going to be purely for recovery. I know in my past video I talked about moving a 2-hour long run to this weekend to cap off my half marathon training, and that might be a valid question you're asking. Austin, you just did a half marathon training block. Why aren't you doing a half marathon or doing any type of capping workout? And while I could, I don't have any races, especially in Colorado right now, that I was particularly interested in, and I'm not really interested in traveling to go race just to get a race in. On top of that, this was really ultimately always supposed to be a way for me to get into winter training without overdoing it or having anything too strenuous or overbearing. I already have a lot going on. Additionally, it's not something that I feel like I need as part of my training to really solidify the things I'm trying to accomplish. I am going straight into another 50K block after the end of this week, or at least some base training before we start that that official build into the summer. So I didn't think it was something that was particularly necessary. For that reason, I just decided to take it out of the training, finish the block solid. Also, we're in the middle of a incredibly cold week here. It's been 0 degrees and below zero. I'm not going to be running any distance, especially a long distance in that type of weather. Just not good for your lungs, and I didn't want to do a treadmill workout. So for all of those reasons, I'm just moving the recovery week into the weekend, and that's what I'm starting to share with you all here. Upper body today, I'm just going to try to focus on hitting the major areas: arms, chest, back. I might do maybe a light leg movement, but you know, recovery week from running should really focus on recovering your cardiovascular system and your legs. So it won't be probably a big focus on legs for this workout, but I will do a voiceover over the clips that I get in the gym and just kind of talk you through what I'm thinking about when I'm working out as a runner and just the movements that I'm doing. Other than that, I will catch you guys in the next clip. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the voiceover. I started this workout with a barbell overhead press. It has been a focus that I have been working on recently in the gym, whether it's barbell or dumbbell, just trying to work on that shoulder strength. I feel like it's something that's been very beneficial running longer distances, but also running with a pack or a camera, especially even a light camera, can just feel that shoulder fatigue. So working on that strength has been really important. I worked on a pyramid set for this workout. You just saw in the first clip there, started with 10-pound plates, did 12 reps, and then moved up to 25-pound plates and did 8 reps. In the next set here, I just added 5 pounds to each side and did 6 reps. You'll see towards the end of this set, I do use my legs a little bit to help me get the weight to the top. I don't think there's a big problem with that. I know there's some debate here and there. As long as you're staying in control, you're engaging your core, you're not overextending or putting yourself in a compromising position, I think that that's completely fine and can help you just get through heavier reps when you need to. I do a back off set at the end of every pyramid set that I do. This is just to increase hypertrophy and increase strength, help work the muscles even when they're a little bit more fatigued, but get a little bit more volume into the workout. If you're not familiar with lifting, a pyramid set is basically just increasing the weight and decreasing the reps every time you go to do another set. Moving on to the next movement, we did bent over barbell rows. Started here with 135, and I actually just did straight sets on this one. So stayed at 135 and did sets of 8. The thing you have to really focus on here is engaging your core. I've done better jobs of this in the past. I actually think right now I'm dealing with a little bit of back tightness because of doing this movement, and you can see that I am going rather quick. Every time I get back into lifting, especially doing compound movements, I tend to lift a little too quickly. I need to be pausing at the top of this movement and lowering the weight a little bit smoother. That keeps your muscles from getting jerked around as much and potentially causing that strain. Really what can cause a lot of back strain in this particular movement is when you're doing this bent over row and you are letting your muscles get stretched out a little bit too much at the bottom, because you're basically just letting the weight fall completely. So the more you controlled you can be, the more you can keep your abs tight throughout this movement, the better off you're going to be and the stronger you're going to feel throughout the entirety of this movement as you do more and more weight. Moving now to the third movement of this workout, I did a chest press. This is a machine that I actually like a lot at this gym. It's a low chest press, so it's starting from below your pec and moving upwards. It's more similar to an incline bench press, which is something I've been working on a little bit more and something that I've always focused on. I just like the movement for a chest press, and I also feel like I have a more developed lower chest than upper, so it's always something I've focused on as far as muscle groups for my physique in particular. Again, working on a pyramid set, so I started there with 12 reps of 45-pound plates on each side, then it moved up, added 25-pound plates on each side. And one thing you'll notice here is I did a better job at pausing at the top and really letting the muscle squeeze and getting that contraction. That is something that is super beneficial for lifting compound movements and ensuring that you are getting the blood into the muscle and you are creating that hypertrophy that you need to
to help your chest grow. Other things I'm focusing on here, making sure I have good contact with my upper back, that I am not lifting too heavy where my butt's then coming off the cushion. So you'll see every time I set up like I did just there, I'm really tightening my core and keeping my back flat against that bench. And then I am driving through the handles. I grip fairly hard. This isn't necessarily a movement where your weights are going to get away from you, but the stronger your grip is, the stronger you are going to feel throughout the entirety of the movement and your full muscle. Moving now into the final movement of this workout, it is a triceps and biceps superset with the cable machine. I am doing a pyramid even in this workout, so I think I started here with 15 or 20 reps and then moved down all the way to 8 reps at the last set of this movement. Of course, you might be thinking, Austin, isn't this workout supposed to be running centric? Yes, some of the workout is for running and it can improve. I'm not working out just for running. I do have other physique goals, and while it can be beneficial to be as lean as possible or as light as possible with running, those aren't really the goals that I have with running. You know, I'm not going to be an Olympic qualifier. I'm not going to be somebody that's winning high level fast races. And with that, I know what I want out of my physique. So I am going to be doing more kind of bodybuilding workouts, more of what you would call a hybrid athlete in that sense, where I do still want the physique from lifting, and I know that that benefits my running, but I am not focusing my entire lifting and other activities around purely running in itself. So a movement like this, more bodybuilding centric, definitely more about growing and maintaining my physique and the goals that I have for that piece. That being said, I think the stronger your body is in general, the better you're going to perform in every aspect of your life. And I really do think that the more that you can grow your physique and your connective tissue to a point, obviously if you get too bulky, it's going to be detrimental to any type of running. You're going to have a lot more issues on your joints. It's going to be harder for you to move around. But I think that if you are healthy in the rest of your body, especially for the goals that I have as far as trail running and endurance events, where it's more about how long you can last, how long your entire body can move through space rather than just how lean you can be, it's hugely beneficial to do this kind of work, even though it's not your typical runner's workout in that sense. And you'll probably see that trend continue as we move forward with videos together, and hopefully you enjoy that, or if you don't, then hopefully you're at least gain something from it, or maybe learn something new about other aspects of working out. The focus here on this workout is really to stay on top of the weight when you're doing triceps. So you can see I'm leaning forward slightly, making sure that I am not too far back or too straight up. If you are too straight up or leaning too far back, the focus of the weight will move from the triceps to your shoulders or even forearms, depending on your positioning, and really take away from the benefits that you would actually gain from doing this work. Having that slight lean forward is super helpful in making sure that the weight is staying placed properly over the tricep. You also see as I'm doing the bicep movement, I'm trying to stay very upright. I'm not swaying at all, especially in cable movements. If things are getting real heavy, rather than doing any kind of swaying like you would with maybe a free barbell or dumbbells, I would recommend reducing the weight entirely. I just don't think you get the benefit like you would from a barbell and doing any kind of swaying to get that extra movement, because the cable's not really meant to work with you in that way. The focus for me when I'm doing the barbell curl or cable curl in this way is to really get a squeeze at the top of the movement. So you'll see here, especially in that rep, I am really focusing on pausing at the top and ensuring that blood's getting to the muscle, that I'm contracting it fully, and I'm not just jerking it around. Thanks for joining me on this voiceover. Hope it was insightful and helpful for you, and you can take some of this into your own training, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel a ton and helps people just like you find this content. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you see new videos right when they come out. Otherwise, we will see you on Friday.